Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us for today's webcast. Today's lesson will be about everything that you need to know about safeguarding your reputation as a tax or accounting professional. So first off, I'd like to introduce our presenters. My name is Sarah Lepisova, and I'm the SEO manager at CountingWorks Pro.
And I am Lee Reams. I'm founder and CEO of CountingWorks Pro. I think this is one of the most important topics and kind of easiest things that any independent professional can do to really improve their overall marketing effectiveness. So from converting more leads to attracting more referrals, I think reviews and safeguarding your reputation is kind of the number one thing that you can easily do today.
I completely agree with that. And so for today's agenda, we will be covering everything it takes to safeguard your reputation, especially today in the digital age. So we're going to start out by covering referrals in the modern age and how they've changed as the whole world has moved online. And then we're going to go over best practices for everything, starting from building your review strategy, leveraging marketplaces, and dealing with negative feedback. And then we'll finish off by giving you helpful tips and actionable next steps. And with that, I'd like to hand it off to Lee.
All right, Sarah, thank you very much for that introduction, and let's get started. So I think a very important part to start with is your practice isn't what you say it is, it's what Google says it is. And in a digital-centric world, consumers cannot tell who is an expert or not. Basically, they can't look at several CPAs or enrolled agents or tax professionals, look at their designations and say, okay, this person knows what they're talking about and this person doesn't. So what they do is they turn to online reviews to set up their buying decision. So for any tax and accounting practice that exists today, online reviews are critically important when it comes to winning business and maintaining a positive reputation. So the reality is, in the digital age, your online reputation is vital to the success of your business. So I always usually start with this: is what are you doing to safeguard your reputation? This is a never-ending job and there are no days off. So let's show you how and why, okay? So referrals in the modern age. So why reputation matters. First off, I'm going to read some stats. And these change each year. Some go up and down a little bit, but basically 84% of people trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. So think about that. You're here to build trust. Reading dozens of reviews that indicate responsiveness, how quickly, how do you actually behave when you become a client? And in the quality of your service creates an online reputation that consumers can start trusting, right? So you're actually preconditioning them that when they start working with you, they're already going to have some sort of kind of a relationship, or the beginning of a relationship based on what other people have experienced. So in fact, according to a survey by Software Advice, consumers are 63% more likely to trust and buy from a brand with reviews than without. So already we have statistics here. 90% of prospects read less than 10 reviews before forming an opinion about the business. So basically you need to make them count. So the emphasis on online reviews is rising year by year. So believe it or not, your best salesperson isn't you. It isn't your website. It isn't the copywriter. It's the clients and the testimonials. No one sells you better than a satisfied client. And that is not just in what they say in a review, but think about that. That's in referrals. Basically the entire way you built your practice, it's built on what other people, a satisfied client, so someone who you have really done beyond the call of duty, so to speak, and they're gonna be the voice for your firm. So something that people don't realize, and why reputation matters so much, is reviews affect the price you can charge. So according to a Bright Local study, the average consumer is willing to spend 31% more with a business that has excellent reviews. Think about that. So they're already building in a price premium based on their reputation. And consumers like to see a lot of reviews. So a single review with a few positive words makes up an opinion, and this is very important. But a few dozen reviews telling a consistent story makes a consensus, okay? And that's what you're really trying to do when you're building your reputation. So it's a safe assumption that virtually every prospect, no matter your target demographic, the industry or market, is viewing online reviews before deciding whom to work with. I mention often a term called social proof. And basically what social proof is a psychological phenomenon. And you go back to high school, or just think about Amazon and the marketplace. in which people make judgments and decisions based on the collective actions or opinions of others, okay? So in this case, reading positive reviews from other people who made similar decisions to, what they're looking for to work with you drives confidence that working with a well-reviewed advisor is a good choice. So it basically kind of reinforces their decision making. And I think there's one other really important stat I like to talk about. According to a report by eMarketer, reviews are trusted 12 times more than other marketing materials, demonstrating that social proof is a powerful source. So I'm done with the stats for a little bit, but I'm going to go a little bit into how referrals have changed. So basically, reviews are an extension of the word of mouth phenomenon. And, the fact that word of mouth has been a force behind all business decisions or commerce for a long time does not need repeating. We all know this, right? But the amazing phenomenon that has been around for as long as humans have been humans, most of the decisions that people make are based on information that comes from their friends, their colleagues, peers, people they work with, people they trust, other advisors, okay? And, today, that word of mouth is now in a digital format. So when people say, hey, I build my business on referrals, well, of course you do. What reviews do is kind of supercharge instead of, adding a client one by one. If you set up processes like what we do in our CountyWorks Pro platform, you're going to be able to basically scale that process. So the modern day referral is no longer done in a vacuum. So you can't just ask someone for a referral and then they call you without looking you up. They're going to Google your name. They're going to see what other people say about you. If they get to your website, it's not professional. If they see 1-star reviews, it's going to basically devalue that referral. So the internet has become the middleman of the referral pipeline. So your reviews are even more crucial part of your prospecting process. And so this is both an obstacle and an opportunity. So let's get into this a little bit more and talk a little bit about web leads versus referrals. So referrals are prospecting, they are what everyone enjoys. They're intent buyers. Most likely they're going to convert. You're not chasing them down. Web leads are a little bit differently. They can be, they don't necessarily are qualified leads. They may come in different stages of the life cycle. So they might just be in a research phase. They might just be becoming aware of a problem. But what you want to do is you want your brand to have a position in each stage of this life cycle. So when you want your brand to come up when they're basically becoming aware or researching about a problem. That might come in the way you're writing content or even reviews about you in a marketplace. And what this does is it starts laying down the groundwork for why someone might want to do business with you, right? So their decision about whether or not to contact you will be based solely on this online presence. Are you showing up? Is your blog showing up? Are you busy on social media? When they are searching, is your brand showing all over the place? So that is kind of, are you there? Are you visible? Is your brand being ranked well? And then they're going to look at the reputation of your firm. So do you have 5-star reviews? Do you have 5-star reviews across multiple properties? That's going to be important. And then, it kind of runs down to whether or not you seem trustworthy. So the difference here between the referrals and web leads, I think, is very important. And the way they do their research is important. So you need to focus on both sides. Yes, we're going to ask for referrals. You're going to try to get as many referrals as possible, get those referral networks going. But web leads is a huge opportunity, and this is a much more scalable way to grow. So let's get into some best practices for safeguarding your reputation. So what makes up your reputation, right? So word of mouth, referrals, your online presence, so the social proof. Are others talking about you? Do you have a lot of likes and followers on your social media sites? Is your website well indexed? When someone Googles you, what do they see? And that kind of is driven how the online review marketplaces kind of how they look at you. So these three elements together are kind of starting the basis for building up your reputation. So let's talk about here best practice building up your reviews. And I said no more stats, but we're going to go to another stat. I'm going to just keep banging it, until people go, okay, I give up. Trust me, I want to do reviews. 76% of all people trust online reviews as much as recommendations from family and friends. And this is where I'm saying the world has changed. The digital opportunities or information that's available to your prospects and even people that were getting the traditional referral, it's changed. That process has changed, right? So without online reviews, you literally will have a hard time ranking and showing up in the search results. So even if you get great referrals, ask your clients to also leave you 5-star reviews. So if you have a successful engagement, as soon as that engagement is over, don't be shy. Basically ask for it and say, hey, and what we do is we like to concentrate on Google My Business, TaxBuzz, and CountingWorks.com first, and then we'll go to other sites like Yelp, or it depends on the market, what are ranking the highest as far as the marketplace sites. But basically what you want to do is develop a strategy to ask for reviews frequently and consistently. So for our subscribers of CountingWorks Pro, we have a bunch of different campaigns that we set up that can run quarterly for people. We also have a kind of a quick click that sends out a review request directly after an engagement. But we have basically successfully gathered and attracted, we had clients with 100 reviews. And this really makes a difference, and all of them rank well. They rank well for branded search terms and non-branded search terms. Google basically wants to reward the searcher with what they think is the best qualified professional in the area and or their area of expertise. Reviews are the difference maker. So it's really important to start building up your review profile. And what we do with CountingWorks Pro is when we start finding or attracting reviews, we'll then even share those reviews on all your social media channels. And what that does in reality is, one, it distributes the good news to your client base, so it makes them want to refer you even more. But if someone is searching you up and they happen upon your social media platform, for example, let's say they're on Facebook and they're scrolling through your feed, they're going to see a bunch of 5-star reviews. And it's just another way to kind of reinforce this. So, what are the best practices? So here's a couple of examples. We have some campaigns. Please take a moment to rate us. And we set these up on a schedule. We do this for our clients. We automate this process, and we've been extremely successful with doing this. So these are just a couple of different examples of the campaign tools that we use. And these are the type of reviews that we're generating for clients. And, when it gets into this, I think that you cannot talk about the importance enough of how reviews help your SEO as well. So search engine optimization, right? So most of your clients use keywords when leaving testimonials. They're going to talk about tax preparation, accounting, CFO. They're going to have words that Google is going to index in their reviews. So that adds more content on the internet associated with your brand, and all positive content. So reviews are a big part of the formula when Google is ranking brands. So if you have fresh reviews, meaning the frequency and quantity and a lot of 5-star, and you are responding to these reviews, your practice is going to rank better in search. So you're going to benefit two ways, right? Your practice is more likely to appear when web users search these keywords related to your firm, and they're most likely going to see positive 5-star reviews about you. And one thing that people forget is reviews aid in the consumer decision making. So reviews are a key to the decision-making process, right? So when someone's kind of figuring out who I want to work with, helping your prospects get a better idea about your service, your knowledge, your responsiveness, your price, even your staff. We see a lot of things, clients love the articles and blog posts. These are things that are details that you're not going to have in your marketing material, right? And here's a couple of examples of just these reviews make a big difference. So aid your consumers, your prospects in the decision-making process. And the other thing it does is it enables problem solving. So not all reviews are positive, and believe it or not, that's okay. So no business is perfect, and reviews can help you identify some pain points and need of improvement. So, someone might mention, someone on the front desk that wasn't responsive, they didn't call me back, or they were rude. These are things that, when you're working in the office, especially during the heavy season, you may not even have understood you have a problem. So my suggestion is to go all in. Don't be afraid of asking for reviews. It's going to make a big difference in your results of your practice. So this gets into what the fear is and dealing with a negative feedback. So, what do I do if I get a negative review? And it can happen. And there are statistics that show that having a perfect profile actually kind of can look fake. So people like to see, if there was, people understand there's crazy people in the world. You can't please everybody. Someone might be asking you to do something unethical and you're not going to do it. These are the kind of 1-star reviews that can be out there. But if you just leave them and don't bolster your review profile with other 5-star reviews, that's when that can become a problem. But basically, I'm going to go through a couple different things about a negative review. And, we have a best practice here. Use negative feedback as an opportunity to safeguard your reputation by showing prospects how you respond to conflict. So let's get into this a little bit. These are the best practices. We've written a blog article on Counting Works Pro in our blog section, and it's a more detailed article about how to respond to a negative review, but let's go through the steps. So step 1, keep your cool. Okay. When a negative review does come, the only thing you can do is move forward, right? Now what am I going to do? So what that entails will depend upon the specific situation. It's helpful to take a deep breath before making any decisions here. So don't just jump on it and respond in an emotional way that can blow up in your face. I've seen people do that, businesses or other, not just tax and accounting professionals do that on sites like Nextdoor, and it just becomes a big problem. On Instagram, and then it can start going a little bit viral. So stop, breathe, think about it. So we say step 2, evaluate the situation. So take a moment to think through all the relevant factors before taking actions. And, for starters, we like to say, is the review even real? And we have tools, and if they're on our review site, so if a review comes through on taxbuzz.com or countingworks.com, we have some filtering tools that enable us to kind of determine, is a review real or not? Where did it come from? And we'll have a process actually that our clients, if someone says, hey, this isn't a client, this is a fake review, we have a process that basically goes through and validates whether this review is correct or not. But as soon as you get a negative review, check your records, right? Is that person actually a client, okay? In the case of, small to medium-sized tax and accounting practices with a set list of clients, it should be fairly easy to figure out, versus a retailer who has hundreds of clients every day and, they don't know them personally. So you should be able to say, okay, is the review fraudulent? There are steps you can take to get it removed, before you jump to that step, or you should still respond to the review first in case prospects come across it, before you have it taken off or does not end up getting removed, okay? So address the complaint and apologize for the dissatisfaction. State you can't seem to find them in your records as having been a previous customer. Offer to fix their situation and give them your contact information. You have 3 options here. Respond directly to the review through whatever site it was posted on, contact the reviewer privately to discuss the situation, or don't respond. But do take feedback seriously, okay? And again, don't get emotional. In step 4, rectify the situation and follow up. And we've found that many people that have taken step 1, where they respond directly to the reviewer, they've gotten reviews kind of, I guess, taken off, where you negotiate what is the problem. The client just wanted to hear you out. And perhaps there was a misunderstanding. Maybe they were emotional in their own right. And once they went through the process, they decided, and we get takedown notices as well. So that is definitely something to think about. So after responding to the review, what was the resolution? Is there something you agreed to fix or change that you need to follow up on with this client? It's vital that you follow through on any promises you made to remedy the situation. Nothing worse than you kind of work it out and then you don't follow through. It makes them want to, leave another review, right? So whether it be redoing a service or sending a refund, whatever that resolution is, you never know. Taking action might turn that 1-star review to a 4 or 5-star if the consumer appreciates how you handled it. I think that's important. So that then runs into step number 5, and that's reevaluate. So, don't let a negative review pass by, without using it as a chance to learn and improve. And this can be, reflecting on your own practice, getting staff involved and kind of talking through, hey, what could we have done differently here? What could we have done better that would stop that client from having that poor experience? And not only just having that poor experience, but deciding they want to spend their time to put their name out there in a negative, way about your firm. They're basically so upset they're trying to warn others about you. So, there's a couple things here. Is there a pattern emerging among multiple negative reviews that reveals an issue on the way that you operate. I think those are important things here. So once these steps are done, you can flag or report the review as fraudulent. So I think that's a good understanding here. And whatever you do, prepare, and I like to say this, don't retaliate, right? If you develop a strategy to monitor your online reviews, so we do this for our VIP clients so that you can respond to them very quickly. I think that's going to make a big difference in the success of your firm. So, all right, so I'm going to move on. So again, I have more detail. There's the blog article we wrote on CountyWorks Pro. I think will give you even some more guidelines on kind of how to handle negative reviews. But it's not just reviews that shape your reputation. Other factors include your social media, the quality of your website. Are you speaking to the pain points of your consumer? Are you making it easy for them to contact you? Are you using tools like teleaccountant where clients or prospects can set up a free discovery video interview with you, and you can spend 15, 30 minutes with somebody, deciding, hey, is this client right for me? Am I right for them? And you can basically, it's kind of the easiest way to convert a higher number of prospects by just making it easier for them to convert. What does your blog content look like? Is it up to date? Are you covering, I think in the last month, CountyWorks Pro, I think we had over almost 20 articles and video that we put together that are different makers in establishing, showcasing, it's part of your reputation, showcasing your expertise. These blog articles are shared on social. They get obviously syndicated in that way. So, friends of your clients can see your blog content. But more importantly, if you're writing about life events, if you're writing about breaking news, these are things that information that people can take that make their lives better. They can have a better financial outcome based on the consistency of your information. So remember, word of mouth is a slow one-to-one process. You're not going to grow as quickly as if you start utilizing some of these digital practices, establishing your reputation online. So, your online presence can be accessed by anyone, anywhere, at any time. And trust me, they are searching for you. They are searching for services that you offer. And if you do not have a strong profile, you're just not even in the game because you're not showing up on search. So let's talk about a little bit about the best practices. Ensure that your practice growth is not stunted by reliance on personal networks. That's why we're saying if you establish a strong review profile, you're going to have your referrals coming through, and you're going to supercharge new prospects that you would have been missing if you had not established these 5-star reviews. So invest in high quality blog content, social media management, and your website. Make sure that it is mobile friendly. Most of the traffic now is on those mobile devices. Your site needs to be super, super fast. We've invested almost a year now building out our new site editor 3.0 that's coming out this summer. And it is lightning fast. We're in the 90s on Google page speed, and we can't wait to get it out there. We will help our clients absolutely dominate their areas because Google loves speed. Clients love speed. These are differentiators. Make that site as professional looking as possible. And also syndicate your data to create a seamless user experience across all digital platforms. And what we mean by that is you want your website, your social media sites, anywhere that your brand is present. We want it all to be consistent. You want the same messaging. You want the same look and feel. You want the same logo, color schemes, etc. So these are some best practices. If you're not doing that now, that's something you need to step back and say, okay, let's start there, and then we'll start moving to something else. So marketplaces, and we own taxbuzz.com, we own countyworks.com, but Google My Business is owning local search specifically on any type of local, maps. Google My Business, you're listing there. If you have lots of fresh reviews, we actually post social life events. We post our blog articles on our clients' Google My Business accounts, but you got to build up these review profiles. We start with those 3 first, then we go to Yelp, Thumbtack, whatever other ones we need to. But the online marketplaces, they all add up together. And this is how SEO works. So a website by itself is not where everyone is hanging out anymore. They might find you on Facebook. They might find you on Twitter. They might find you on TaxBuzz. They're going to read about you. Then they click in and go to your website. Is your website professional? Does this look like a trustworthy firm? This is what is important here. And all of these are signals to Google on how they rank your practice. So if you only have a website and don't have all these other off-page elements, you are not going to rank well, okay? And that's going to be a big component of what we're doing. So leverage these marketplaces. People want to read third-party sites that they feel are more credible than what you would just put on your own website, and it's kind of like your sales copy, so to speak. When you go to this, here's some best practices. Take advantage and claim all of your marketplace profiles you can, especially anything that is tax or accounting related. And that means your, Xero, QuickBooks directories. There's the P10 directory. There's all kinds of sites like TaxBuzz, AccountingWorks. We want you to take advantage and claim all of them. You want all of them to have your current phone numbers, address, your hours, whatever information, photos, whatever you can put in them. The fresher that data, that's a signal, that's a citation signal to Google that your brand is credible, that you should rank higher than others. And, again, Google's job is to show people that are searching businesses that are in business, that the data that they're showing is correct and accurate. And that's why that's so important. So you want to, in some ways, understand that the reviews play a big, we follow Moz, and there's, anywhere from 10 to 15%. There's all kinds of studies, but reviews themselves as part of the algorithm, that more reviews you have, it's a boost to your overall SEO. So what's next? Consider everything you will need to safeguard your reputation. So what do you need? You need a strong review generation strategy. So what is that? That's review campaigns. We have that built into our AccountingWorks Pro platform. You can always call us and pick our brains on some of the best practices and the way we do it. We love syndicating the reviews once they come into your social media campaigns. It basically boosts the voice of your clients. That is another big a big bonus. Monitor your online reputation. We do that for our VIP clients, where we are we're basically getting notifications as the reviews come in. If we see anything that is negative, we reach out to our clients immediately, give them strategies on how to respond. Have high quality collateral, your blog content. What I see all the times with people that kind of do the DIY WordPress route, they'll start a blog and they'll put 3 blog articles, over a week period of time. And then that would be the last blog article in 2015. Blog content brings 50% of the traffic to our AccountingWorks Pro clients. Basically, if they have a website and blog content, half the traffic is to the regular website pages, half is to the blog content. What's interesting, if you have social media turned on as well and you're doing our social media posting, those firms have a 10% additional boost in traffic. So it does matter. Make sure your website is professional. Make sure it is not a cookie cutter site. Make sure you're speaking to the pain points of your audience, okay? And make it easy for them. Don't put any barriers for them to contact you. Make it easy for them to schedule time with you. And that's kind of the basics there for, things that you need to stand out here. Step 2, utilize the power of technology and automation. We know that you make money using your time to serve your clients. So the more ways we can use technology to serve more clients and spend less time per client, I think is a big plus, right? So that's why at AccountingWorks Pro, we have made this as automated as possible. So we do it all for you. All we need is your database, basically. If you're a client of ours, we have your database. We'll set up your social media sites. We'll start posting to them. We'll start sharing your reviews, and we'll start kicking off campaigns that will generate a 5-star reputation for you very quickly. This is the biggest differentiator of pros that do very well on our platform versus those that struggle. If they do not provide their database and they do not give us permission to start sending out the review campaigns, they just don't do as well. And it's unfortunate. We try to coach our clients as much as we can, but it is that powerful. So find tools to simplify, some of the items that we've covered. Leverage technology to safeguard your reputation. So if you are a current client, I know if you have not done a review campaign, please just email our help@accountingworkspro.com. Otherwise, we would love to hear from you. We have packages that start at $69.95 a month. that could fit any firm. We work with firms that are both growing and established. Established firms can use reviews for more client retention, higher prices, right? More business from fewer clients. Those are things that really are differentiators in how our platform works. All right, so that wraps up this presentation. I hope you have gained some good insights. Again, we have some more information about what happens if you get a 1-star review on our blog at accountingworkspro.com. So a couple things, next steps, so to speak. I want to thank you for attending. You can start a free trial if you're interested in seeing how our product works, our platform works. You can do that at accountingworkspro.com, or you can give us a call at 1-800-442-2477. Extension 3 is if you want to talk to one of our marketing experts. Extension 4 is if you're a current client or had questions or wanted to start a review campaign with us. But anyways, we appreciate your time and hope to be hearing from you soon. Again, thank you very much.